Okay, just a quick video here to talk about and discuss which capacitor you want to change out if you want to affect your horizontal width. Now for this experiment and education here, we're going to be using a Sharp XM-2001N. This is the same monitor that I was using to test the flybacks that I had to put the capacitor here across D601 and R602 and R601 to get the oscillation to calm down on the new replacement flybacks. And I already have a video on that, so you can go back. I think the video, 2 videos prior to this one on the channel, talks about all that. But I noticed that one of the drawbacks to putting this flyback in, I have a shrunken horizontal size. With the factory flyback, I have a nice perfect full image, but with this flyback, it's shrunken a bit on the horizontal size. And the horizontal width coil is that guy right there, and I have it maxed out all the way in. So on this particular chassis, all the way, turning the ferrite core all the way in will increase the width, and turning it all the way out will decrease the width. So I have it all the way down as far as it can go, and I've still got about 3/8 of an inch of black right there, and about 3/8 of an inch of black on this side, a little bit more maybe. But this is the maximum size, and I need to gain this 3/8 black over here, and this, it's more now because the resolution of this image is different, but I need to try and regain that width. There you go. See, I've got that area of black between the edge of the tube and right there. So there's that black there, and there is this black here, and I've got the width maxed out. So let's say this is the scenario where you need to increase your width and you're maxed out on the coil and it won't go any wider. Well, the quickest and easiest way for you to determine which capacitor to change out is going to be to go to the horizontal width coil and trace out the lines. I will say that not every chassis uses a polycap like one of these for the horizontal size. Some of them use electrolytic capacitors, like on the K4900. The K4900 uses a electrolytic to determine the width. So there's an electrolytic capacitor you change out to change your horizontal size. But like the K7000 with C38 and this particular chassis, it's actually a polycap like one of these. So let me show you exactly how to determine this. So let's say you've got a chassis, you don't know which capacitor you need to change out in order to affect your width. So I'm going to turn this off so we can do some pointing here. Alright, so we're off, safe to work on now. We don't need to worry about discharging it because we're not going to be sticking our fingers underneath the anode cap. So, you know, take that with a grain of salt and, you know, do this at your own peril. Don't blame me if you get shocked. So just want to put that out there. Nothing I'm going to do here is going to have any risk of being shocked. So of course, you know, ultimately you'd want to discharge the monitor, but unless you're actually sticking your fingers underneath the anode cup or anything like that, you really don't have much to worry about. Anyway, just saying that. All right, so if we follow the horizontal width coil, which is that guy right there, if we come around to it, it's right here. So right here is our horizontal width coil. And you can see that it is illustrated here. Here is our coil, our 2 legs. So if we follow this leg of our coil here, it comes around down here and it goes across R636. Now R636 is not going to be anything that affects our width. Then we come through here, C623, there's no capacitor there, and it comes down across this inductor, L602, and then back around this way off to nowhere land. Well, not nowhere land, but it doesn't matter to us for what we're doing. So, but if we go to this leg here, we follow it down, it goes across this part of a transformer, this leg of a transformer, this winding the transformer that comes up here, right here across C16. So C16 is our horizontal width cap. So the easiest way to determine, sorry for the shaky image there, that's why this is the amateur channel and I'm on the handheld mode here. But hopefully that gives you an idea. You can go to the horizontal width coil and follow the traces, and whichever leg of the coil runs through the capacitor, that capacitor that's tied to that leg of the horizontal width coil is going to be the capacitor that determines the width of your image. So in this case, it's going to be C616. And C616 is right here. This guy right there. And it just happens to be a, let's see if we can zoom in on that. That is a 474J. So it's a high likelihood if we change that out to a 0.39, we should be able to, where are my width caps? Here we are. Okay. If we grab a, let's just go, here we go, 334. So This is a rating of 400 volts for that cap. So 400 volts or higher, you can go up, but you can't go down. So it's rated at, oh, I'm sorry, no, it's 200 volts. That is rated at 200 volt, 200 V. I don't know if you can see that, 200 V. So anything higher than 200 is going to be fine. So I have a 334J. So we may go to this one, 630 volts. So we can use that one. I was going to do a 0.39, but that's a 224J. That's going to be way too wide. Then we have 274, 564, 224, 224, 274, 53. Here we go. This is probably a better one. This one is, come on, 334J, 250 volts. So we may just use this one. So I'm going to take that cap out and put this 334J 250 volt cap in there. So we're going to change that out to a 334, and we'll see how that affects our width. And just like that, we have our 474J 200 volt width cap removed. We have our 250 volt 334, I believe it was, installed in C616 location. And let's see if our width has increased. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Okay, comes right on. And let's see. It has, but not enough. Let's turn our brightness down a bit right there. Let's get past this. And let's see here. Yeah, a little better and a little better, but I need to go lower, it looks like. We still have, it's about 3/8, but this side has increased to about, I don't know, less than a quarter. So it did work, but it looks like we need to go even lower. So I'm going to grab a 224. Let's see here. I actually have two containers of these here. Let's grab a, there's a 154. I don't want to go that low just yet. 474. Here we go. Here's a 274. 274, 250. Let's throw the 274. Because I went down so far with that one and it didn't help. Well, yeah, let's put the, let's try the 154. Yeah, 154, 250. Come on. 154, 250. Sorry about my nasty nail there, it's still healing. But yeah, let's throw this in here instead, because that, going from the 474 to the 0.34 didn't really make much of a difference. So let's put the 154 in there, because we can always decrease the width with the coil. So let's put the 154 in there and see what that does. Okay, the 154 is installed. Let's see what that does. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Oh, that may be too low of a rating because it just went into protection mode. Let's turn this on again. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, it's in protection mode now. I gotta wait we'll wait a few seconds here. When it goes into protection mode, you have to wait for some capacitors to discharge. And then if you turn it back on, if it turns back on, it goes into protection mode again, then our capacitor is too low of a rating. If you go too low, it doesn't like it. It changes the inductance of various things, and so obviously the 0.154 is too low. So we may have to settle for a 224. While we're waiting, let's see if we can find a 224 right here. Yeah, there's a 224. 224. So we may have to go to 224. That may be our limit here. Let's try again. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, so there you go. It turns on and goes into protection mode. So 154 is too low. We'll put a 224 in, see what that does. Okay, the 154 is out and the 224 is in. Let's see if that works. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Okay, it comes on. And wow, yes, full screen. All right. It even goes off the edge a little bit. Awesome. So apparently 154 is too far down in the inductance scale for it to function properly, but yes, full screen now. Fantastic. Let's add a few credits here and see what it looks like on the actual game screen. Yes. Let's adjust H position here a little bit over to the side. Right there. All right, so there's an equal distance shot. We got a little, that right there, and that right there, equal distance. So now let's grab our width adjustment tool, and let's adjust our width coil here. And right about there. Outstanding. Yes. Haha. So it looks like what we need to do is, if you have a 2001N or an 1801N in the Nintendo Red Tent, and you get these new flybacks from Peter once he puts them out there for availability of purchase, he's going to include this capacitor here that needs to be installed to rid the problem of the oscillation. And he's going to have to give an option for the additional width cap of the .224, because that's the only real way to get your width back. So I'll get with Peter and let him know really what's going on with this. I don't know if he wants me to do some more troubleshooting, because I was just kind of make this video on the fly, because I noticed the width problem. With the factory flyback, it pretty much is like this. With the factory flyback, it's a perfect full square image without being too narrow. Changing it out to this one made it more narrow, and I could not adjust the width coil to counteract the more narrow image. And as we just saw, I had to change out the 474 to a 224, and that fixed the problem back to what it is if I was using the factory flyback. So yeah, so I don't know if Peter's going to include the cap and this cap and the new width cap for a kind of a kit, if you will, with the flyback, but I'll run it by him and he can decide what he wants to do about that. But as it stands now, that appears to be the solution for the width issue after changing out the flyback. So it's a bit too dim. I think I might have hit the screen pod. There we go. Fantastic. So all right, now we have a fully working 100% operational 2001N. Much more happy with this now. So I will let this run, assuming that it doesn't get hot and doesn't go crazy, or after 30 minutes it burns up the cap, which it's not going to. It's the right power, it's the right voltage rating. Assuming none of that goes bad, I'll call it a success. We don't have any linearity problems that I can see, at least from initial glance. The timer is dead center. If we look where the anode cap is in the center of the tube, we can come down to the timer. Let's go back into that, just so for dramatic effect here. We can see that the timer is dead center in the anode there, so there's no linearity problems. I think this is now perfection. So all right, enough blabbering, jibber-jabbering, is the right way to say that. Thanks for watching. Hopefully you learned something. Like I say, if you don't know which cap it is, follow the traces off of the width coil, and it should take you right to the cap in the circuit that you can change out for adjusting the size if you don't know which cap it is. So thanks for watching. Like, share, and subscribe. I appreciate it. I'll see you next time.